Ghost Rider sits on some grass and sips his drink while narrating a story. Hey there, name's Frank. Most folks call me Ryder these days. Well, these days I'm dead, but you get it. I mean, I've died a whole bunch, but the last time stuck, I guess. He got smashed to bits by a Silver Surfer carting around Thor's hammer. Exciting stuff. So now I'm here at rest, at peace, says Ghost Rider. The only problem here is that Ghost Rider doesn't feel too peaceful. He can still feel him. Ghost Rider can still see all the horrible things he did crawling over Ghost Rider like bugs on his skin. And by he, Ghost Rider means Thanos. Thanos used to make Ghost Rider give him the old penance stare every morning. Thanos used to love bathing in all the crummy things he had done. Actually, that reminds Rider of a joke he used to tell. Well, he only ever told it to himself and some lizards, but yeah, it goes like this. What's the difference between a fairy tale and a Thanos story? A fairy tale begins with once upon a time, but Thanos stories begin with, man, you ain't never gonna believe this, says Rider as he laughs and drinks. This story is rough. It takes place a long time ago. You see, Thanos held these little makeshift fighting tournaments on his ship, the Sanctuary 2. And no, Rider doesn't know what happened to Sanctuary 1. The tournaments were more or less blood sports disguised as training exercises. A murder pit of a classroom for his daughter Gamora. In his spaceship, Thanos sits atop his grand throne, looking from above at the fight happening below him. Gamora, a green child, asks Thanos if she can finish yet, and calls Thanos her father, but Thanos grimly tells her to do it once more. The girl has another opponent to fight. Thanos, being the gifted disciplinarian that he is, would occasionally raise an entire civilization so he could take a single prisoner just to bring something home for Gamora to play with. I wish all dads were that attentive. Thanos was by no means a good father. In fact, he was a pretty terrible one. But I guess you can't argue with the results. Gamora gets ready to fight her opponent, and her opponent dodges her attacks. The opponent manages to punch Gamora in her face as she coughs out blood, and Thanos watches in anticipation. Gamora would eventually become the deadliest woman in the galaxy, and you don't earn that title with clean hands or a weak stomach. As she gets terribly beaten up and injured by her opponent, Gamora begs Thanos to stop this as she pleads with him to show some mercy to her. But Thanos isn't very pleased with Gamora's result and says that Gamora isn't here for mercy and tells her opponent to finish her. Gamora's opponent slices her head right off, and though Thanos may have been cruel, he taught his daughter to face death that day, to embrace her end and to look death in the eye and to meet her gaze unblinking and unafraid. The opponent takes her mask off after defeating Gamora, and it's Gamora under the mask? She asks her father, Thanos, if she can leave, but he repeats the cycle by telling her to do this again. It's quite messed up, but this isn't even the good part. We're just getting started. People think that the great Thanos is a destroyer of worlds and of whole populations. The borders of reality can't contain his thirst for pain, but no cruelty is too small for the terrible king either, and may even offer great pleasure. David, who is 1 year old, is being put to sleep by his mother, who congratulates her son on his first birthday and expresses the love she has for her child. As the parent leaves the baby's room, Thanos steps in, removing the blanket on top of the baby and says, "The first of many very happy birthdays, little David." Thanos' birthday gift for David was removing his blanket. The baby starts crying and his parents burst into the room worried and confused, wondering where the child's blanket has gone. On David's 5th birthday, he tells his mom that he wants to stop having birthdays since the monster doesn't come if it's not his birthday. David's mother explains to him that there is no monster and his father is going to be here with the cake. She tells her child to have fun with his friends when she notices something odd while preparing the table for his birthday party. The car in which David's dad was in is completely crushed. Both David and his mother are shocked. David is sure that this is the doing of the monster, Thanos. On David's 16th birthday, he is asleep in his bed when he hears his phone ringing on his side table. It's a message from his sweetheart who can't wait to see David today for his birthday. As David is about to respond to her message, Thanos snatches his phone out of his hands and asks David if he is still surprised. Thanos is shocked that David has a girlfriend, and David pleads with him to stop doing this on every one of his birthdays. Thanos tells David to quiet down as he types on his phone and sends a hateful message to David's girlfriend and wishes David a happy birthday. On his 21st birthday, David is drinking and Thanos wishes him a happy birthday, and it continues. On his 25th birthday, Thanos' gift for David is having his grad school burned to the ground. 27th birthday, his gift is his cat dying. On his 30th birthday, David wonders why Thanos does this. It's past midnight and Thanos hasn't come yet. David is shocked and looks at the news, which announces that Thanos is defeated and exiled by the Earth's mightiest heroes. David is overjoyed that Thanos missed his birthday. On David's 31st birthday, he is having the time of his life since he thinks he no longer has to deal with Thanos. He heads outside his house to barbecue some meat for his birthday, but there he is, shocked seeing Thanos, who is grilling meat. Thanos apologizes to David for missing his 30th birthday and vows to never miss any of his birthdays ever again. David asks Thanos why he does this, and Thanos replies that he loves these meetings. There is nothing more important to Thanos. He wants to make up for missing last year and snaps his hands, and all the area around David's house is destroyed to the Earth core. Fast forward to David's 45th birthday. His home is trashed and Thanos arrives to wish him a happy birthday. David finally reveals his true thoughts. "You have tormented me for every year of my life, and for a long time, all I wanted was to know why. But lately, I've started to think, why do you think I will keep sticking around for all of this? Why don't I just kill myself, right? That's why. You want to see how far you can push a person. I know what you do for the rest of the year. You conquer planets and kill superheroes. But every year, you come back to me. So I'm going to tell you why I hang on, why I keep living," says David in a sorrowful voice. As he is about to say it, Thanos destroys the ceiling of David's home, causing water to fill the house up, and Thanos says that he doesn't care, bidding David goodbye. For a person who believes that life is meaningless and rejects all religious and moral principles, Thanos can be quite romantic. And everything he did with the Infinity Gauntlet is his equivalent of turning up outside Death's house with a boombox playing her favorite song. "Thanos has certainly got an eye for art," narrates Ghost Rider. "What more can I do?" yells Thanos. "I burn for you. I set the universe ablaze to warm your freezing heart. Half of all that lives is dead, and still nothing you love is here," yells Thanos. "Lord Thanos, Death is a woman. You must woo her. Then the sun of love will dawn upon those frigid lands," says Mephisto. "You have shown her power. Now reveal you are more than a bludgeon. Bring her poetry. Bring her art," says Mephisto enthusiastically. Perhaps Thanos will show Death art, as only Thanos can. In Arbanth, there's a forest where trees are like poets. People carve beautiful words on them, and when autumn comes, the leaves fall. Gardeners collect these fallen leaves to gather new stories. Lovers come back in spring to the groves where the trees preserve their love in verses. The stories are put into books and cherished. On Carbonire, a rocky world, brave travelers visit. They arrive blindfolded and feel the writings on every path. Each path has a story, and they make choices to decide their journey. It's said that no one has ever followed the exact same story. Oba is a huge world where tribes live at both ends of long acoustic canyons. It takes half a year for songs to travel from one end to the other. Large choirs sing across seasons, bringing peace and joy spanning millions of years. Onyx is a sculpture on Oba made to be beautiful when viewed from space. It's a clockwork paradise with birds sipping from platinum blooms, and a theater biome called Arrow Prime, where every cell is like a stage with tiny actors under microscopes. Thanos destroys a sculpture and believes it's true art, showing that all art is just a brief and meaningless distraction. Say what you want about Thanos, but he's got the soul of an artist. Sadly, more like that of the artist Marquis de Sade. Ghost Rider narrates yet another story, and this one's really messed up. After destroying a planet, Thanos makes his way to destroy other planets, and he wants to make sure the rank and file of the universe will all know the name of Thanos and quake in fear of his coming. Thanos spots a suspicious-looking planet with a lot of light in it, rainbows, castles, and all. Thanos finds this planet worth investigating and lands on its surface, where he meets adorable little creatures resembling bunnies and little animals. The creatures introduce themselves as Adorals, and Thanos introduces himself to the punny creatures as Thanos, a god. The Adorals are excited that they have a new god and surround Thanos with their love. The Adorals reveal that they worship the heart. It's the heat of their universe. Thanos asks the little creatures to bring this heart immediately. It must be what makes their world shine so brightly. One of the Adorals goes to get it. The Adorals surround Thanos with warm hugs, and he gets angry, threatening to put an end to them. The Adorals are happy and even volunteer to be first in line to die. Thanos is utterly confused. Then the Adorals kill each other. Thanos doesn't find killing fun until or unless he's the one doing it. An Adoral arrives with the heart, and after taking it from them, Thanos leaves their world. And now, it's about time we talk about that gem nestled among the ones contained within the gauntlet. There is one in particular, the Time Gem. It's a great little thing. It lets you see through time and is handy. With it, Thanos saw the potential. Not something he could use right now, but something he would wait for. Something to savor until the moment was right. Thanos helps an old lady cross a road, and everything goes as Thanos planned. He had successfully performed the most callously evil act in his life. And he did it right under the nose of every superhero protecting Earth. He didn't even break a single law doing it. While Thanos was helping an old lady cross the road, a bus was stalled, waiting for the woman to pass, and the bus hit that woman, Stephanie Kircher. She is destined to change the world. She will cure disease and hunger and stop inequality. She's going to turn Earth into a paradise, and from there, the universe. And it all begins today, right now, when she steps off that bus and bumps into Suzanne. Of course, Stephanie never bumped into Suzanne. Thanos had delayed the bus. Stephanie Kircher never bumped into anyone. Instead, she lived her life as most humans do, in mediocrity. Dogged by the vague belief that somehow she was meant for bigger things, which as she grew up older turned into a similarly vague disappointment that those bigger things never ended up happening. Diseases never got cured, the world never got better, and decades later, when she was just minutes away from her own death, Thanos entered Stephanie's life once more. He gave her a vision. He showed her what she was meant to be, what she could have been without him. In her last moment, she finally saw how Thanos had stolen her life from her and given her ashes in return, and then she died. That day, Thanos fell a little more in love with death. Not just people can die, ideas can too, even futures. But the death of hope is by far the sweetest for him. Ghost Rider has lived a long time, and he's also seen a lot. He's seen hell and heaven too. But it's been a long time, and sometimes he wonders if he's getting ahead of himself. The Calrasians were a minor sentient species living at the edge of the galaxy. Not the high-tech people, more agrarian, farms and communes, religious types, you know? They had a close relationship with their creator. They even were on a first-name basis. My friends, we come together on the sacred day to give our thanks to the one above, to Halban, who gave us eternal life, says a man. He then states and interrupts. There was no end. The people knew who he lobbied for him. Immortals need to fill their time, but still, he didn't want to lose any of you. So he made sure your essential selves were retrieved and stored if the body failed, ready for reincarnation. As afterlives go, it wasn't a bad system while it lasted, says Thanos. The Immortals ask him what he did, and Thanos replies that Haldan was recording all the Immortals on a quantum server, very advanced. It would have run until the end of time, beyond perhaps. Thanos destroyed it. Then he tore his head off and burned his heart. So now, when the Immortals' bodies fail, they will just switch off. And then nothing, I guess. The Immortals cry. Nothing? Why? Why would you? Why, Thanos? Asks the sorrowful Immortals' words. Let us be good, that we may return sooner. Eternal life awaits the just. But what if there is no eternal life? Questions Thanos. The Immortals are still here, so they will have to try and be good, but Thanos laughs out loud. The Immortals cry. They do not want to die, and as chaos erupts, Thanos takes his leave. He will enjoy seeing how he's still there. Ghost Rider feels a lot lighter after telling all these stories to us. If you are quite done talking, follow me, Francis Castle. Welcome to Valhalla, says Odin as he leads Ghost Rider through a gate.